costume, which has happened before. I feel like I'm the girl from Legally Blonde with the Playboy Bunny outfit, and the joke's on me. I mean, I get all the attention, but it's really awkward. I don't like that. One thing I was telling Mark that kind of happened recently is I was in a Facebook group, and it's for cosplayers, okay? And I made this costume, so it's handmade, etc. And this is like the rules, right? We have the rules for these cosplayers, and they get a little crazy about them. So the guy running it, and God, he's not here tonight, so probably offended, was like really picky about the fact that my costumes, my aprons that I think that are inspired, are cosplay or not cosplay. And he doesn't know if he can do that, because if he can allow them to post it. Like Dante, I don't know, like he might be on the edge there, being in a costume. So don't post in the cosplay groups, because he may or may not let you win. The funny thing about that is that I was talking to my friend about this whole scenario, and in an effort to make me feel better, she says, well, if that's the guy's biggest worry, that he is concerned about whether or not a costume is or isn't cosplay, and he's monitoring the Facebook group that hard, I would not be so concerned with it. I'd be worried for that guy's sex life, because I'm sure it's probably not happening. I mean, if this is the man's biggest concern and worry, I kind of had to agree with her. So that's kind of interesting. Little by little, I'm noticing things about my car. I have a new Fiat, and it's yellow. And it's funny because some people call my car my roller skate because it's a little tiny car. But it's not a smart car. It's fucking stupid, but it's a good little car. And tonight I hop in the car and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I look like my car tonight. I need a Batman logo magnet on each side, little Batman ears. So I was thinking on the way over here, that would be awesome. I could have like the Batman signal, on there. And I realized that I didn't even know what the horn was going to be, right? Sorry, I thought that was funny. It was to me. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little thing that happened to me recently. Since we're in kind of a cosplayer type area. Star Wars to some people is really exciting, but I recently found out, meaning like 4 years ago, that I can't purr like a kitten. Because when I was trying to purr like a kitten during a sexual time, it didn't really sound like a kitten. I was trying to sound cute and sexy, I thought it'd go like normal. Instead it sounded like Chewbacca. It was more like, so I don't do that anymore, by the way. I think these new Star Wars popsicles also that we've seen recently are kind of interesting. I don't know if you've seen them yet. I've seen them on my friends, the sidebar posts, but they've got kids, and so I'm connected to them. So somehow I see Star Wars popsicle ads next to my stuff on Facebook, and there's one red, there's one green, and they're supposed to be the most exciting thing ever. They're so wonderful, and I'm thinking, I don't know that these are really going to be that great, because the parents are raving about them like they're going to get these for the kids and they're going to be so happy. But what I see is they're going to give the kid these popsicles, and what's the very first thing that the kids are going to do with a Star Wars lightsaber popsicle? What do you think you do? You hit somebody with it, right? So what's going to happen? It's not going to be like, hey, I have Star Wars popsicles. It's going to be like, they're just going to be screaming and crying. That doesn't sound appealing to me, so I don't think so. Okay, so I set some short and sweet because I've learned I've only been doing this 2 weeks, not 2 months, not however many years. So I'm learning I don't have to take up all my time. So I was asking, or somebody asked me this recently, like, do you always just do like 2 minutes on stage? And I said, well, it's like a gun, I mean, you get in, you do your job, you get the fuck out, right? So this is my last joke. Don't stand it. Recently, I hurt my thumb. I was trying to be all smart and hang up something, and I wanted to know myself, right? I didn't want to ask somebody because, my fiance is a guy, and you know how guys, have to go through things to hang them up, right? Girls are like, nothing, right? They hang it up. Guys are like, measure it across, measure it up and down. They've got it on paper. They're doing some mathematical equation for it. They got to make sure it's level. They've got to get the right screws. They need everything in it. Girls are like, nothing. They're like, oh yeah, it looks good, and it's slightly off, and they don't need a level or anything. The guy comes in and like, oh, he has to redo it because it's not mathematically correct. So I thought, okay, I'll do it correctly. So I had the little screws that they had, and I even used my pink level out of my pink toolbox, and tried to do it right. Well, I guess you're supposed to put something else in the wall and then put a screw, so you still didn't know. So in the attempt to screw it, I screwed the screwdriver into my thumb instead. So this now has made my thumb very unuseful because you don't realize what you need a thumb for until you don't have a thumb. So I wrote down some things to remember to tell you what I've noticed in just this piece of time what you need a thumb for. You need a thumb for tying your hair in a ponytail, for tying cookie bags, for taking items out of the oven, for turning the lock, for cleaning your glasses, for making peanut butter celery sticks, and for grabbing anything pretty much. I've come to a conclusion out of all of this. It's a good thing I am not a guy, because you don't need nothing else for me to do a girl. Thank you. I'm Trixie. Bye.
Keep it going for Trixie.